Okay, all right, let's start in standing. I'm gonna put the fan on. It is warm in here. Okay, let's start. What's that? It's a slow starter. Okay, so feet underneath the hip bones, nice tall posture. Let the arms just relax for a moment by your side. Arm should hang so the middle finger comes about to the seam where your pants would be. Think about the weight in the heels and a nice long tall line reaching up through the top of your head toward the ceiling. Trying to maintain all that length that you just created and let go of any tension you can in your legs and your hips, your abdomen, your neck and shoulders. And then we'll squeeze the shoulder blades together and then relax them and let the fingertips reach toward the ground. So the shoulders are pulling down away from the ears as the top of the head is lifting up. Still breathing with the diaphragm. And then relax everything and just sort of shake it out a little bit. Just let your body bounce and shake. Long exhales. Okay, and then let's take a little wider of a stance. Arms up, and then we'll just bounce at the bottom. Get the fluids flowing. A little vibration, a little bounce. We'll get those going. And then let's stop at the top next time you're up there with a nice big X shape with straight elbows. Really trying to push the elbows straight and really trying to push the knees straight. If that feels painful or tender, don't do that. Just go to the range that you can. But if you don't feel any pain, then really try to feel the end range of those four joints, both knees, both elbows. And then let's spread the fingers really wide and wiggle the toes. Okay, and then we'll go to elbows and knees, really let the tailbone move out behind you. Maybe not going down to the full depth you can right away. Just give yourself a few reps before you do that. And if it feels pretty good, then maybe sinking down a little bit lower. Okay, stop at the top. Straighten everything out again. We're going to go through that again, but we're going to go really slow on the down. So like a slow count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up. 1, 2, up. Okay, a couple more. Okay, let's bring the arms down, shake that out a little bit. Okay, we'll take the hips or the feet a little wider than hip, and we're just going to go back and forth. You can have your hands relaxed or on your hips, and just think about pushing up through the balls of the feet to go to each side, getting a little more bouncy bounce in. Okay, make sure as you go to each side, you first land on the ball of the foot and then come to the heel. Ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel. You don't even have to take the foot up off the ground. If it feels pretty good, you can think about adding a little hop. Ball, heel, Ball heel, ball heel. Building a little strength. We're also building that ability to move quickly. Nice little warm-up activity. All right, let's come to the back of the mat. And then we'll just go through some more traditional yoga-ish poses. Right foot forward, as far as you want, as far as feels good. Okay, we'll shift the hips so they're pointing toward the end of the mat. And then sink in as deep as you want to in the front knee. Feel the weight in your feet. Feel that you can let your toes relax a little bit. And then press through the back heel. As you press through the back heel, think about a straight knee back here. And then let's start with the arms behind. Interlace the fingers to open the chest. And you can just play with lifting and lowering, seeing where you're turning your palms out, whatever feels like it's going to give you a nice stretch. You can add a little twist, a little lift of the head. We're building strength in the lower body and trying to get a nice little stretch in the upper body. Okay, let's let the arms go. Come up to the ball of the foot in the back. And then before we step forward, we'll just do a nice little dip up and down a few times. Maybe 4 or 5. Okay, and then press forward. And we'll switch out. All right, we'll turn the hips forward, sink into that front knee as far as feels comfortable for you. Feel the weight in the heel in the front, pressing through the heel in the back to straighten the back knee. Nice, and then we'll interlace the fingers again. Open, and just again, play with that movement. Can add a little twisting around. If you find a place that feels exceptionally good, hang out there for a few breaths. Okay, let's let the arms relax. We'll come on to the back balls of the feet and just do a few little dips, maybe 5-ish. And then press it back forward. Okay, we'll step the left foot back. As far as feels comfortable, we'll go back into our traditional warrior one legs. This time, let's put the arms straight up. Shoulders come down, elbows go straight, and we're going to spread the fingers nice and wide. Okay, so our palms are facing towards each other. We're going to rotate the palms in as far outward. So we're sort of twisting through the forearms. And just slowly rotate them as far as they'll go. If you only want to rotate one at a time, you can just rotate one at a time. That might be easier for me for some reason, but I can definitely feel through the elbow how that is a rotational stretch for those muscles. Okay, let's let the arms come down, come on the ball of the back foot, 5 little dips. And then a step forward. Same thing, right foot back. Find whatever depth is good for you, sink into it. Press through that back heel, and then we'll bring the arms straight up again, shoulders down, elbows straight, spread the fingers, and then find your rotation. One or both arms at a time, maybe a little of each. I can get a little more into that end range if I do one at a time. All right, let's let the arms come down onto the ball of the foot. 5 little dips. And a step forward. Okay, let's, if you have your blocks handy, let's put a block kind of in the middle of the feet. We'll step back with the left as far as you feel comfortable. Hips go a long ways with the mat. Arms will come out. We'll sink into the front knee for that warrior 2 pose. And just try to feel the weight in the heel, sinking as low as you can comfortably go to challenge yourself a little bit. If you haven't figured it out, today's about some strengthening in addition to a nice stretch. Okay, let's straighten the front knee and we'll tip the right hand to the leg or the block, whichever feels like the right amount of stretch for you. The left arm's reaching up toward the ceiling. Think about that left hand reaching up so much that it's almost taking some weight off of your hand that's on your block or your leg. Think about your head stretching away from your hips. All right, let's put a little bend in the front knee, and then we'll bring the left hand to the hip, and we'll come back up to standing, and then we'll switch our legs out. So left leg will come forward, right leg will go back. We'll turn the hips long ways with the mat. Sink into the front knee and the arms come up, looking past your left hand. We'll just hold this. You might bring your attention to your feet and make sure you can feel your heels connected with the mat. Shoulders are down away from the ears. The fingertips are reaching apart. And you're still breathing with your belly, even though you're working hard. Still breathing the way we're designed to breathe. Okay, let's straighten the front knee, and then we'll tip the left hand to the leg or to the block. Right hand is reaching up. Head is reaching away from the hips. All right, let's put some bend in the front knee. Let the right arm come down. We'll push ourselves back up to straight, and then we'll leave our block here. Let's take a little teeny step back with the left. And then the hands can stay on the hips or maybe even a little behind. And we'll do a hinge. Keeping the back straight, the head in line with the spine. Okay, think about your left hand either coming to the right knee or to your block. So we're starting to create a little twist through the spine as we keep the legs straight. Is there anything you can let go of that you don't need to be holding quite so tight? All right, let's slowly bend the knees, and then we'll slowly push back up to standing, and we will swap our feet out. Left is forward, right is back. Hands can be behind or on the hips, whichever feels best. Nice straight spine and just a hinge from the hips. And then think about your right hand. Whenever your body feels ready to come to the left knee or the block, creating that little bit of a twist. Letting go of anything you don't need to be holding tight. And then we'll slowly bend the knees, bring ourselves back up to standing. Let's go into some balance. So let's go into the left leg first. We'll go into a tree pose. Okay, finding whatever version of tree pose feels best for you. Wherever you're at, think about this left hip pushing down through the foot to really engage the whole hip area, and the top of your head raising up, and then finding whatever arm pose feels best for you today. I'm going to open a window before, I don't know, before I get too overheated. Oh, that feels good. Finding your breath. Keep pushing down through your heel, feeling that sturdiness from your heel all the way up to your rib cage. Core's engaged. You can either stay right where you're at, or we're going to add a little bit of dynamic movement to this. We'll bring the knee forward, and wherever your hands are at, bring the hands to the knees. Keep pushing down through that left hip, nice and tall, 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 tall. And then wherever you're at, slowly let go, come back. Nice work. Okay, let's go into the right side. Okay, find that pressing down with your hip into your heel, finding your feet, finding your arms and reaching the top of the head toward the ceiling, finding your breath. Wherever you're at, if you want to add the dynamic component, you can bring that knee forward into your hands, see what happens. Sometimes one side's going to be hard and one's going to be easy. And then we'll slowly let go. Okay, let's shake that out. Let's intersperse another little stretch for the inner thigh in between our balance poses. So let's take a nice wide. You may want to add a block in between. We'll add a little twist eventually. So let's sink into the right knee, hips go way behind. So the hips going behind and then a little bit toward the right, toward the bent knee side. And then you can use the block in whatever way helps you hold your position. We'll hold it for a good 6-8 breaths here. Try to let go of anything you don't need to be holding. Okay, let's push it to the other side. Left knee bends, hips push behind you and a little bit to the left. Let go of anything you can in your thighs, especially in your hips. Okay, let's push back to the other side. Okay, this time, if you've got your hand on a block or the floor, you might add a little twist so the right hand can sweep up. And really open up through that spiral line. Okay, let's bring that arm down if it's up. Switch to the other side. Bent left knee, right hand on the floor of the block. If you want to add the twist, left hand rotates up. Okay, let's come back down. Bend both knees and bring ourselves back up. Okay, let's go into just a nice regular old chair pose. So feet underneath the hips, and then really push the hips back, sitting down as low as feels comfortable for you in your chair. First thing that always limits me is my left knee just doesn't always love this. Okay, let's add a little bit of a dynamic component. Let's come to a standing first. Give ourselves just a little bit of rest and then go back into however low you want to go. We're going to do a little dynamic component with the arms. So let's bring the arms just straight forward. Shoulders are down away from the ears. And then we'll bring the arms down and behind, kind of in that ski jump position, or like if you're going to try and long jump. And then forward. And then back. And forward. You don't have to add this part. Back. Okay, we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. Arms forward, and then like you're swimming back. Okay, and then forward and swimming and forward, swimming, and then now up. Gotcha. Okay, all right. One more time into chair pose. We'll add a little twist. You can have your block if you want to. Okay, so into the chair pose. Left hand to the block. Right hand can sweep around. Mine will not go all the way up to the ceiling, but just as far as it will go, because we're trying to really work more on the glide of the shoulder blades as opposed to the twist of the spine. Okay, right hand down, left hand up. Feel that shoulder blade come toward the spine. Back down, back to standing. Okay. Twisted chair. Okay, we'll toe touch, left foot on the ground, right toe touch, and then hips go back. Okay, arms can just be wherever they feel helpful to you. We'll add arms here in a second. Let's come back up. Okay, so we've got right crossed over left. So let's bring left across the body, palm up, right over the top, twist them together. Okay, and back. It can be just a couple inches of a dip. Doesn't have to be a lot. And think about the elbows coming up. As they come up, even just the effort of moving towards up should really stretch the sides of the ribs and the shoulder blades. Okay, and then let's come back up and shake all that out. Okay, left over right, toe touch, hips go back, arms just relax this time. Weight in the heel. Push it back up. Okay, we've got left over right. Let's go right across the body, left across the top. Wind them together, lift the elbows, sitting back. Take a breath. Lift the elbows a little teeny bit more. And then we'll push it back up and shake that out. All right, let's go down onto the mat. Okay, if you're not a fan of pigeon, then you can lay on your back and do the figure four. We haven't done pigeon in a while, so let's get on hands and knees. If you want to do it this way, we'll tuck the right knee forward first, the left back, and then you can go into a straight arm if you like to really stretch through the right hip flexor. Or go all the way down onto your forehead, whatever your preference is. And again, if you don't like stretching the hip this way, then lay on your back and do the figure four stretch, or even sitting in a chair doing figure four works great. I'm going to stay in an upward pigeon because I'm going to add the king pigeon with the bent knee and the reach back, just because I'm feeling like it today. But that is completely optional. So if you want to do it, right hand comes back, feels for the foot or the ankle. You can use a strap in this as well. It's a really lovely stretch for the shoulder as well as the front of the left hip. Think about anything you can let go. Doesn't need to be held tight. Now let's slowly start thinking about heading over to the other side. You can pause for a child's pose in between. If you're on your back, just do a little windshield wiper. All right, and then the left knee comes forward. Or do your opposite figure four. Sinking into your stretch. Either up in your straight arms or all the way down on your elbows or even your forehead, whatever feels best, most therapeutic to you. If you do want to add the bent knee and the left arm reach back, totally up to you. We'll stay here for just a few more breaths. And then slowly sneak back into a child's pose. If you're in regular pigeon, if you're in figure 4, allow yourself a little windshield wiper, side to side movements with your hips and knees. Maybe stretch your arms over your head if you're in figure 4. All right, let's come to a seated position on the right hip. Okay, so we'll roll onto the right hip, let bottom leg moves to straight. We'll stretch through the side body. Nice deep stretch. The top leg can go front or back, whichever feels therapeutic. I'm going to put my elbow on my blocks here. My wrist doesn't want to support me that well right now. And then just rock side to side, forward, backward a little bit, just to see where you get the best stretch. And feel free to move around, explore a little bit. Once you find that nice spot you want to stretch, find your breath, see if there's anything you can relax. Couple more breaths. And then we'll slowly come out. And to the other side. So onto the left hip, straighten the bottom left leg. Rock side to side, feeling where you can find the best stretch. Whatever position your arms and legs need to be in to help you feel that stretch through your side body. That's what we're looking for. We're seeking out the stretch, not the pose. Couple more nice long breaths here. And then we'll slowly come up to a seated position. Hi, Pam. Did you forget it was Tuesday? Oh, I see. Okay, doing some storm appointment makeup. Okay, so right hand on the ground, and then left hand is just going to reach across the body and then open up behind the body. Cross the body, open up behind, cross, and open. Okay, left hand down, cross, and then open up to the side and behind. Think about that left or the right shoulder staying, both shoulders staying down away from the ears. That was probably way more than the other. It just felt really good. Okay, let's go ahead and bring ourselves into cobbler's pose. Tuck the chin, top of the head toward the ceiling. Pull the knees down. It feels good to do just a gentle bounce. You can add that. As long as the end range feels okay. Okay, from here we'll go onto our tummies. And you can either go all the way flat or up on your elbows. Once you're on your elbows, think about your elbows pressing into the ground like you're trying to pull yourself forward. So you're stretching through your abdominal area. You can sort of rock that side to side a little bit. Okay, and then we'll roll over onto our backs. Knees up. We'll do a couple easy bridges, nice slow lifts, squeezing the glutes, and then back down. And then let's pull the feet and the knees together and lift. Just a nice gentle lift and squeeze. And then we'll pull the feet out toward the edges of the mat, lift and squeeze. And then let's hug the knees in. Tuck the chin too, if that feels okay in your neck. And then we'll expand, reaching the feet away, the hands away. Let's compress again. Expand. And then soften into your final relaxation pose. Whatever pose feels best to you. Just let your feet flap open, your hands land wherever they want to land. Maybe rock your head side to side a little bit. See if you can find a nice neutral center. Find your breath in your belly. Try to let go of any tension that's left in your jaw. And see how it feels to let anything else go in your arms and hands and shoulders. Take the time to wiggle them a little bit if you need to find any extra tension. Same thing with your hips and legs and feet. If you need to wiggle them a little bit, and then let some tension out. And then give yourself just a couple more exhales. And then after your next exhale, start to slowly, as mindfully as you can, bring yourself up to a seated position, kind of noticing every joint that has to move and what range of motion it needs in order to help you, and how important it is to keep all that range of motion, all that strength in order to do these simple motions, but coordinate them together in a way that's super important. All right, let's take one more big breath together and bring the hands to the heart and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.